Hey guys, thanks for all your support and feedback from the first video. This is all a work in progress, but any and all engagement is much appreciated. If you haven't already, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more content. As promised, here's another round of Master Duel content, this time featuring my Zoodiac Tri-Brigade list that I played all the way up to Platinum 1, which is currently the highest rank that you can get. I personally think that this is one of the best decks in the metagame that you can play, owing to the fact that it is great at creating a relatively strong board, while at the same time great at breaking people's boards. You really get the best of both worlds with this deck. So what we're going to do first here is go over the actual deck profile, and I'll explain my card choices. After that, I'll showcase a couple of combos for you guys. With that said, let's go ahead and get into the deck profile. So first off, we have the Tri-Brigade cards featuring pretty standard ratios. I played 3 Nerval, 2 Karas, 3 Kit, 3 Fractal, and 2 Revolt. The monster lineup's good. It ensures that you'll pretty much always see an engine piece, and it keeps you safe from getting screwed over too hard with Pot of Desires. I was originally playing 3 Revolt, because the card's just bonkers, but I decided to cut it to 2 since I needed space to fit in more hand traps, which as you can see is a relatively prominent part of this list. Anyways, these ratios worked really well and wouldn't change anything about the Tri-Brigade cards. Next up is the Zoodiac part of the deck. I played 2 Thoroughblade and 1 Ram. I think these ratios are good, along with the triple tanky. Blade's got the best stats, and I played Ram as optimal discard fodder if I opened both tanky and Blade. So you might think it's strange to play these, considering that some of the strongest cards like Rat Pierre or Barrage are both banned in this game. But this part of the engine is actually still really strong, because you can access strong extra deck monsters like Trident and Zeus, and that's the main reason that they're in the deck. And that's why they're very good at breaking boards. So if you open up a tanky or a zoo monster, your opponent's likely going to deal with a Zeus that can dunk their board twice, so that's not something a lot of decks can really handle, so that's why it's excellent at going second. And the Zoo monsters are also a very great check against Max C. Most of my opponents would drop Max C as soon as I normal summoned a Zoo, so I could just make Trident and pass. You know, they get their 1 draw, but I still get at least 1 disruption, so combined with the hand trap lineup, it's usually pretty decent. Okay. Speaking of which, we're going to go on to the hand traps now. These are pretty necessary at the higher ranks in Master Duel because you need them to survive if you don't go first. Zoo Tri-Brigade is also a mid-range type of deck, so your overall goal should be to first play hand traps to slow your opponents down, and then quickly overwhelm them with your 1-card engines. Okay, so first up, we have Triple Ash Blossom. These are a must-have in the deck because they negate the 1 card in the game that almost everybody fears, which is Max C. If you don't use it to block Max C, it can block almost anything else in the game, so overall it's an excellent hand trap. And then after that we play Triple Max C. This card is just absurd if it goes through. Just like Ash Blossom, you need it to survive in the metagame. It's really too good not to play. Next up we have Triple Nibiru. It's another piece of your deck that helps you survive against combo and other mid-range decks that summon more than 5 times in a turn. Unlike Max C, the rock cannot be hit by Ash or called by, so unless your opponent puts up a negate within their first 5 summons, they're going to smell what the rock is cooking. And lastly, we have the effect negations with triple impermanence and double Veiler. These would both be good at 3, but I valued Infinite Impermanence over Veiler because it was a better top deck into boards going second. These ratios were good. The only thing I might consider is trying to find space for the 3rd Veiler, but space is pretty tight in this deck, so 2 and 3 was good. For consistency cards, we have the Triple Desires and the Triple Tanky. Desires is a solid Ash check, because drawing 2 is really busted in this deck. When you play Desires, your opponents normally Ashes it. If they don't, then they don't have Ash, right? So that's a good thing to know. And because I play so many different copies, or so many copies of my engine pieces, I was never really afraid of banishing 10 to draw 2. Every time I activated Desires, I could still play the game. So you never just lose playing this card. And then Tanky at 3 is also really busted. This card can either access your Zoo engine or your Tri-Brigade engine by getting Fractal. And it also doubles as a combo piece, which you guys will see later. And also a really solid Ash check, just like Desires. If you play Tanky and your opponent has a response, they might most likely have Ash, so just good to know. Overall, very solid consistency card. And finally, I played 2 Called by the Grave and double Crossout Designator. Max C is a rather poisonous card to this deck, so these are in here solely to negate that card. It's also good at catching other hand traps, and sometimes Crossout Designator will like banish a Pot of Desires or something, and that's pretty cool. And that's it for the main deck. Last thing to go over here is the extra deck. First up we have the Zoo side of the extra with 1 Tiger, 1 Trident, 1 Borbo, 1 Chakanine, and 1 Zeus. Tiger and Chakanine were combo pieces for Tanky, and at worst they just served as names to throw underneath Zeus. We played the Borbo, because that helps you going into Zeus going second. You normal summon a Zoo, make Borbo attack directly, put all the names on top of this, and then make Zoo, and then that's 2 dunks, and your opponent has to deal with that. And then Trident is the boss / combo piece for Tanky. So these are really good ratios for the Zoo monsters. Wouldn't really change anything there. The fact that Trident is legal is actually what makes this good. If Trident wasn't legal, this engine would kind of be trashy, but it is what it is. So then after that is the Link monsters. So for the Tri-Brigade portion of the extra, I played 2 Shrike, 1 Farragut, and 1 Bear Broom, and lastly 1 Rugal. You typically play more of these in a pure deck, but the Zoodiac engine needs its share of the extra too. Like look here, it takes 5 of the 15 spots that you have, so which is why I played the Tri-Brigade ratios that I did. So these definitely worked, but I did miss the second Farragut sometimes, but otherwise it was pretty solid. For the other Link monsters, I played 1 Almirage, 1 Double Dragon Lords, 1 Doom Eagle, 1 Appaloosa, and 1 Access Code Talker. So Almirage is definitely a must-have for the situations where you open only Nerval and Kit. Double Dragon Lords is an excellent stopping point for Max C. Say you normal summon Kit, banish 2, and then your opponent hits you with Max C, so you just make Double Dragon Lords, and then you can stop on that, and it's usually pretty good. And then Doom Eagle plus Access Code Talker is your kill button for the deck. And then lastly, the star centerpiece of this deck's first turn board is Appaloosa. So win condition for this going first is to put her up plus Revolt. So that's usually game pretty much every time. I won nearly every game that I put up that board, so pretty solid. Alright, so that's going to do for the deck profile. So we're going to move on to showcasing a couple of combos on DB for any first timers or folks who are curious about the deck. Alrighty guys, so for the first combo, we're just going to assume that you open either only Fractal or Tanky. So in this case, if you open either of those, you can start with Fractal, activate Fractal to dump Kit. Kit will trigger, so we can dump a Nerval, and then we're going to add Kit to our hand. So you're wondering why we're going to add Kit here, and the reason that we add Kit is that if this gets stopped by Infinite Impermanence or Effect Failure, if your opponent deals with Kit, she can dump another copy of Nerval and then get you another Tri-Brigade. So it's good for your card economy, so you definitely want to add Kit here. So then you're going to go ahead and normal summon Kit, and then you're going to activate her effect to banish 2. And what's important to note here is that if you banish 2 here and your opponent answers with Max C, assuming you don't have Called by the Grave, you would just summon Double Dragon Lords instead of Bear Broom, because that way they only get 1 draw, and you still have an interruption. But in this case, if we assume they don't have Max C, we're going to summon Bear Broom, and then we're going to link both of these off for our Rugal. And then we're going to trigger our Bear Broom to search Revolt. And then we're going to put a card back. And there you have it. That's our 1-card combo to end on Revolt, which is still, resolving this on your opponent's turn is still extremely powerful. And on the offshoot that your opponent like MSTs this or something, you can still summon Shrike, and then Rugal can activate to special summon a Tri-Brigade from your graveyard, and then that will still trigger the Shrike. So having this set up, MST Lightning Storm Feather Duster does not actually answer your Revolt setup. So this is good to keep in mind, and it's still a pretty strong setup. And that's the first combo. Alrighty, so combo number 2 assumes that you're opening Tenki and any Tri-Brigade. So if you open these, you can end on your most optimal board. So first off, if you start off with Tenki, we're going to go ahead and add any Zoodiac monster. In this case, I'll add Zoodiac Thoroughblade. And then I'm going to normal summon Thoroughblade. And then I'm going to make Zoodiac Trident. I'm going to use Trident's effect to destroy my own Tenki. This seems really weird, but the reason that we're doing this is because this puts a Zoodiac in the graveyard, which is prime for us making Chakanine. Chakanine is going to go ahead and detach to special summon any Zoo. In this case, I'll just summon back Thoroughblade, since it doesn't really... Well, actually, I guess you should special summon Trident just in case anything happens. Just summon back Trident, doesn't matter really, but this is optimal, I suppose. And then, now that you have 2 Beast Warriors on the field, you can link both of these away for your Tri-Brigade Farragut. And then we're going to go ahead and trigger Farragut's effect to special summon any Tri-Brigade from our hand. And then we can use that same Tri-Brigade to banish 2 from our graveyard. Actually, it makes sense to keep this in the graveyard. I missed game on doing this one, so we're just going to banish these 2. Banish the Xyz monsters. And then we're going to special summon our Bear Broom. And then we're going to go ahead and link summon with 3 materials for our Appaloosa. For 3 materials, so that means she can negate 3 monster effects. And then we're going to go ahead and trigger our Farragut, our Bear Broom, and potentially the Tri-Brigade. So this can be Kit or Nerval if you open those. This combo works with any Tri-Brigade, but Nerval and Kit are the most valuable, Nerval being the best one. So the way that you would want to order your chain links on Master Duel is you would want to do Farragut 1, we would do Revolt, or we would do Bear Broom 2, and then Nerval for number 3. Okay, so the reason we do Farragut first here is that we want to get all of these cards out of our deck so that we can draw better cards like Ash Blossom and so on. So in this case, Nerval is just going to add you Kit, and then Bear Broom's going to resolve and add you Revolt. Then you're going to put back a card. You can put back the Zoo or anything, or the Tri-Brigade and anything else, and then we're going to draw a card. Oh, in this case, we drew Max C, so that's broken. And then we put back a card for that. So there you have it. This is the optimal setup. Doing it this way means that not only do you have the 3 monster negate, if you resolve Revolt, you will special summon back. Let's see, you'll special summon at least these 3 cards back. All right, and then once you link these away, that's going to make your Shrike. So Shrike is going to banish a card. You're going to draw a card off of Farragut, and you're going to get another search off of your Nerval. This time, you should probably keep that, or whatever you search off of Nerval in hand for follow-up for next turn, but you can see the power of this play. It's extremely strong. That's why the setup is extremely difficult to answer. Not a whole lot of decks can play past that. So this combo number 2 here is probably the most powerful thing you can open up going first. And that's going to be it for combo number 2. Alrighty guys, so for this section we're going to talk about going for the kill. So if your setups in either combo 1 or combo 2 were not answered, your opponent is pretty much dead about 99% of the time. Assuming that you've resolved Revolt, you're going to get your draw, and then you're going to get your Nerval search. So we're going to add Kit, and then play passes to us. So we're going to draw a card for turn. And then we're going to normal summon our Tri-Brigade, making sure to banish, let's see, we're going to banish Nerval, Thoroughblade, and any other Link monster. And then we're going to summon Doom Eagle. And because Doom Eagle is a winged beast and it was special summoned to our side of the field, we can trigger Shrike if we need to. This way we can banish a potential back row or something that our opponent might have. And then we're going to link our Kit and our Doom Eagle for Access Code Talker. Kit can dump Nerval, and then Access Code Talker will increase its attack by 3,000, targeting the Doom Eagle that you used. And at this point, at a minimum, you should have at least 2 pops here, because you can banish your Doom Eagle and your Bearbroom to pop anything that they might have said or have on the field. And even if Appaloosa doesn't have any attack, Shrike is 3,000 and Access Code Talker is 5,300, and that's 8,300 damage, so your opponent's like turbo dead if you do this play. So that's how you go for the kill. After you do your combo 1 or combo 2. So works in either case, and your opponent's almost always dead after that. So yeah, guys, that's going to do for the deck profile and combo showcase. Let me know if you guys have any questions. If you like the content, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more future content. That's going to be it, guys. Take care. Have a good one.